Welcome back to the second half of the Bobby Dupre Show, along with Andrew Gitros, my sidekick.
Good morning
here.
again.
Yes, sir. Let's move it right on in.
Yeah,
you want to get a couple of
I'd like
our
to get a couple
sponsors
sponsors
here.
in that
You
would
bet.
help out pay them bills. Piggly Wiggly, go down to your local, one of the three little Piggly Wiggly stores in Simsport, 2 in Opelousas, 1 on Heather Drive, and 1 on Highway 182 north of Opelousas. You can go by right now. They've got cantaloupes, 2 for $4. They got bleach, 98 cents a gallon. And don't forget about the back to school specials. They're running a special from the July 18th through July 24th of notebooks, 10 for $10, pencils, these big 2-packs for $1. A lot of good, inexpensive things for you to get all set up to get your kids ready for school. Go by your local Piggly Wiggly
right around,
store. That's
you know.
right. They do catering over at their south location. They also do Western Union, money transfers, and don't forget about ATMs as well. And
Why don't you get one more sponsor?
one more sponsor. Let's go with, how about LHC Group, all your home health care needs. LHC Group can help you with the people who come to your house, from the nurses to the rehab folks. They can help you with the equipment. That's the lift chairs and the special beds, maybe the oxygen equipment. They can handle all that for you as well, and the nurses you may need. They've got hospice care. They've got palliative care available as well. They've got a health and wellness center in Opelousas if you want to keep working out. They got locations throughout the United States. Just did a big branch out in Texas again, I saw recently. So give Louisiana Healthcare Group a call for any of your home health care needs. It's all about helping people.
We want to get a couple of pictures real fast here.
Yep.
That I couldn't think of the people's name, and I apologize, and we're going to talk about our sponsor at the same time. The picture that you're going to see right now on your screen, the gentleman on the left with the white beard is Mr. Merkel Dupre, and they pronounce it Dupre. It's D-U-P-U-Y, and that family comes from the Avals Parish area. It's a family name, and if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Merkel lives in Bunkie, and his friend is Kevin Fitzpatrick, and that's a good Irish name, and he's from Chicago, Illinois. How about that? And sorry we couldn't think of the name, and we have another picture you want to get to. That we couldn't think of the young lady's name, and Shannon Broussard. Shannon, I apologize. I couldn't find my picture names quite on time. And of course, the young gentleman there is none other than Mr. Chad Hardy, who's very familiar with Dupre Supply and the Dupre companies. And
going back to the steamboat, if you want to get mom away from the smell of her own cooking, go to north of Opelousas, right there off in historic Washington, Louisiana. The Steamboat Warehouse. It's a redone steamboat warehouse built in the early 1800s, right there on beautiful Bayou Catawba with all the beautiful cypress beams and antiques inside. Real beautiful atmosphere. You can sit out on the wharf and enjoy an adult libation, great wine list, steaks, seafood, all local catches. Great steaks. I know the people that go there that like that, but I'm a seafood man when I go there, and I like to have that crawfish palmetta on top of the rice. They've got the great crab meat, shrimp Betsy. They've got all kind of great dishes. Go by Steamboat and tell Chef Jason Huguet hello.
Merkel Dupre leaves Avals Parish and a lot of fine restaurants to come over to the Steamboat. And remember last week we showed pictures of Keith Fountain and Sonia, and they had left when they first dated. They left Pineville and came all the way to the Steamboat because the ambiance is so good.
It makes a nice drive on your way there. Let's talk about one other sponsor. How about Targill? If you're looking for seasonings, Targill can help you with any kind of seasonings. If you're buying stuff for your home use, if you want to mix a whole bunch for your restaurant, for your grocery store, you can have them mix it and even produce it in containers for you to sell. They'll relabel existing recipes that they've already got. If you want to sell some, use it maybe as promotional. Maybe a family reunion type thing where you're putting a whole bunch of these together and putting pictures of the family on them. They do all that type of work as well. They also do butcher supplies. They do cutlery, kitchen supplies. Think about them from everything from your restaurant and grocery store all the way down to your outdoor kitchen and home. That's Targill Seasoning.
I'll tell you who else I saw at the races last Saturday night. I guess it was Jack Del Buono Jr. hadn't seen Jack in a long time. Good morning to you. He broke a leg in, I think, 4 places, so he was in a wheelchair, but he still had that usual smile and good disposition. And so if I recall correctly, he and Lee Worley and Joe Fred and all those guys graduated at the same time, same year. And also had a chance to tell Mr. Gerald Libesat from Abbeville, a true horseman, has both quarter horses and thoroughbreds he races. And also, when I left there, went to one of our sponsors during the break, and King's Truck Stop had dinner there, I guess around 10:15. Actually, it was a dinner as a breakfast. And Dennis Reed, a longtime friend of ours who is an avid viewer of the Bobby Dupre show, told me to be sure to tell you hello.
Well, good morning, I know him.
And then Vicki asked me if I had seen Paulette and John. I said, well, I saw Paulette last Thursday on the way to a meeting in Baton Rouge. I stopped in and picked up a Subway sandwich and saw Paulette. Well, I mean, wasn't 10 minutes later, here comes John, and it was Paulette's birthday on the 15th,
Well,
which was Sunday. And that's when we saw John, actually, was Sunday night. And so Paulette, many more healthy, happy ones, baby. And one other person that I saw that I had not seen in a long, long time, I remember well when he walked in the first time I met him, he was looking for a dealer's bond to go into the used car business. And I'm speaking of John Baudelaire. John's kind of retired now, but still kind of piddling a little bit. Good to see you, everybody.
I want to remind everybody, a week from this Saturday, it's July 28th, they're going to have the Global House of Praise Christian Refuge Center in Port Barre. That's Reverend Gradney's church is going to have a whole evening for Youth for Christ from 5 p.m. on Saturday, and then on Sunday morning they're going to do again at 9 a.m. They'll have praise dances, door prizes, speakers, and rappers. Really good thing to go see. Should be a good event, not this Saturday, but next.
John LaFleur, you know, little short John LaFleur.
That's got the great cookbook.
Cookbook, beautiful cookbook writer.
Bed and breakfast.
Bed and breakfast in Washington. He invited us to a Cajun culture event. That was this past Saturday, the 14th. Sorry, I got this at the last minute and didn't get to go, but we had a lot of things going on this weekend. But John, thanks.
Keep us on the list.
That's right. Keep us on the list, and we thank you. Talking about the horse industry, they've had a lot of negative publicity, particularly in the horse driven magazines and articles in the sports section about the doping of horses. There's a new dope that they actually get from a frog in South America, maybe Venezuela or something. And it's really creating a lot of conversation, and a lot of people are going to probably be in serious trouble over the usage of that particular. But there was a good positive article last Sunday in the Morning Advocate, and it starts off, but the heading says, "New Life for an Old Sport."
On the front page.
On the front page of the Sunday Advocate, which is the largest newspaper circulation in the state of Louisiana, and one of the largest in the South for that matter. Without alternative gambling, the tracks would have closed a long time ago. And this statement was made by Charles Ashes Sr. Good morning, Charles, former general manager over at Evangeline Downs. And of course, we saw what happened. The gambling was voted out in Lafayette Parish. We had voted it in, and we have Evangeline Downs Casino and racetrack and hotel and restaurants, and I guess 800-900 people are working just in what I just mentioned. Then on the backside, there's probably another 300 or 400 grooms and trainers and assistant trainers.
And you got all these barns around the parish where people keep the horses that they go back and forth with. You've got the vet veterinary services that have popped up with all of this. I mean,
Copper Crown has a veterinary, actually a surgery center there.
now we've got the new horse sales places popping up.
Yes, sir. Mr. Harold Foreman wants us to go and take some pictures and show it off. He says it's just about complete. In fact, they're going to have their first sale of yearlings in September. We'll keep mentioning that to you to make, mark that down on your calendar to try to make it and try to be there for its original, the first time sale.
Carl's Thrifty Way, all your medicinal needs. Carl's Thrifty Way can help you with your prescription medication, your over-the-counter medication. They got everything in there that you need. You can get your scripts called in. If you want to go with generic instead of the big name brand to save a couple of dollars, they can do that. If you want to compound multiple prescriptions together to make them easier to take, they do that as well. And they got the time to sit with you and explain to you what's going on with your prescription, what to watch out for side effects, whether or not you should drive with these type of things. They'll give you a good service. And they've also got a wonderful gift shop with stationery, custom gift basket, candles, gourmet coffee and candy, religious items. Go by Carl's. And one more sponsor. How about the Quarters Casino and Travel Plaza just north of Opelousas with the El Pico de Gallo Mexican restaurant and cantina in there, open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. They've got the crispy crunchy chicken over on the convenience store side with some good Chevron gas, whatever kind you want, diesel, regular gas, easy to get to pumps, nice and clean, lots of concrete, lots of pavillon to keep you dry when you go as well. That's the Quarters Casino Travel Plaza.
I think I might have mentioned that I had started reading the Sam Walton story, the inside story of America's Richest Man.
You didn't finish that already.
I finished it already. I finished it at 6:37 p.m. on July the 16th. What are we, the 18th today? A couple of days ago.
It took you 22
years, almost 2 years to read it.
But you really read it in about a week or so.
Yeah, I read
you put your head to it?
I passed through Bentonville, kind of hurrying back to Brother John's funeral and wake and all, and passed through Bentonville on the 22nd, on a Friday, about 6 p.m. Didn't have time to go into the city. It's a beautiful area where that city is located. I want to go back and spend a day there and just see how it's grown up from almost nothing to probably at least 40,000 people living in the what they call Bentonville.
Because it's not just Walmart. All the people that work with Walmart, if you supply any kind of products, it may be worth your while to open a location there.
Open a location there. So anyhow, I read a lot. I read 3 newspapers, Daily World, Daily Advertiser, and the Morning Advocate each day, except, well, Saturdays, Daily World doesn't deliver, but I mean 3 papers a day. And books is something I couldn't, I never could read. I wrote a little story about this book of how, when I purchased it. I purchased it November 24th, 1990 in New Orleans, Louisiana. That's my handwriting from way back yonder. And then I told a little story about basically what I just mentioned. And it's been sitting on my bedstand practically that whole time, collecting dust. Is that what you?
That's what I said. You just knock the dust off every so often.
Yep, knock the dust off, and then I really got into it. And Link Savoir, in one of his latest article, if not the latest, in the Daily World, he says that Lee Iacocca, who saved Chrysler Corporation back then, has come up with a new book where have all the leaders gone. And I'm kind of thinking my next book, I have the Edwin Edwards book. I need to get reading more of that. I read a few pages, maybe 100 pages of that book, but that's a big old thick book. And when we looked up the Sam Walton last night on the computer, we came up with different books, I guess, by that same author that has one of the books that they wrote, and they are tooting the horn of John D. Rockefeller Sr. and sounds like a real his biography.
That's you going to read next?
I think I might try that one.
That's the Oil Man.
The Oil Man is right.
We're going to take a 1-minute break. We'll be right back, folks.